Now, Titi, our guest, was actually very surprised. She doesn't believe that you guys are actually doing actual cooking in there. I'll tell you who it is. We're joined today on the couch by an interesting conversationalist. Her name is Daisy Handfield. Now, she's an actress who actually started professionally out as a news anchor in the Turks and Caicos Island. Then she moved on to creating a TV show called Extending a Hand with Daisy Handfield, which was filmed and aired in the Dominican Republic. Daisy Handfield, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
I'm excited to be here.
Well, hey, tell you what, you're not as excited as I am. And if you are watching and are blinded right now, I understand. But let's talk about you. I find it very interesting that you actually started out as a news anchor and then you moved on to many other things, which we'll be talking about. But tell us about that experience.
As a news anchor?
Yeah.
It was fun for a while, but after, I think, about 10 years of doing it.
10 years?
Almost 10 years,
You
yes.
look 16.
A lot of people say that, but I'm not. So after about 10 years of doing it, I felt like I wanted to do something more. I felt like I wanted to grow more. So even if I ended up doing news, I wanted to do it in a different country. I no longer wanted to do it in Turks and Caicos because I just felt like I've already reached my peak there. So I decided to move to Europe. And that's why I started acting. I said, you know what, let me branch off into something else to see what...
Was that easy, going from being an anchor to actually acting?
No, in Europe, I don't think it was as easy as I thought it would have been. Because when you come from a country where everyone knows you and you already have all these credentials, you think when you go somewhere else, you'll have that respect and those credentials, but you don't. You're basically a small fish in a big pond.
So what kind of acting did you do? Was it like soaps or was it like movies?
Yes, so I did 2 movies while I was in the UK. They're coming out this year.
Oh, grand.
Yes, I did 1 movie in Tanzania. And I featured in a movie here with Pete Edochie, Mama G.
Oh, wait, hang on a second. Pete Edochie was in a movie?
Yes.
Fantastic. You had some heavy weights there with you. Did you enjoy the experience? Where was it? Where did it happen?
In Enugu. So this is when I first came to Nigeria about almost 5 months ago. And yeah.
And already they've thrown her into a movie. They couldn't wait. Like, grab her now.
Yeah. They threw me into the movie. So it was actually a good experience. It was good to see how people do things here in Nigeria because obviously it's different from in Europe and of course in my country as well. So it was a really nice experience. I enjoyed it and I made friends with Mama G. Like I love her so much. We're good friends now.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's great. You also are into a bit of philanthropy, not just a bit, because you've been doing this for quite a while and you're doing something here in Nigeria as well. Well, let's talk about where it all started. In the Dominican Republic, you had a show called
Extending a Hand with Daisy Handfield.
What was that about?
So this show was basically a show where I helped people with their basic needs, with medication. I collaborated with government. I collaborated with a lot of private companies, big companies, and we assisted those who needed things. So if you needed a bed, if you needed medications, if you needed anything we could assist with, if we found that there was an urgency for it, I would try to make it happen. The show was actually very popular because in the Dominican Republic, it is a very poor country, so there was a lot of need. And I wanted to continue the idea here because I know there is a big need here
but
as well.
before continuing here, that wasn't enough what you did in the Dominican Republic. You went to Tanzania, and then you did that there again.
So I started to do it there. In Tanzania, it was a little bit more difficult for me because of the language barrier. You know that over there it's Swahili, it's not in English.
Did you learn some Swahili at least?
Kidogo, which is small.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
It sounded nice, you know. So how were you embraced in the African continent, I mean, when you went to Tanzania with your philanthropy?
So people welcomed me. I feel like here people are very welcoming in Africa, in the continent in general. I think people are very welcoming, like especially to foreigners. I feel like my experience was nice in Tanzania. I wanted to do more, but obviously I ended up coming here, so I didn't stay there long enough. But if I did stay long enough, I probably would have opened up a foundation there as well.
So here in Nigeria, will you be opening up one? And how long will you be staying?
So as long as you guys allow me to stay here,
you're welcome to stay. Please don't go anywhere.
So once you keep me here, once you give permission for me to stay, I'll be here. I'm going to be starting my show here. It's a humanitarian program. It's almost like extending a hand. We will be collaborating with government and also collaborating with pharmaceutical companies and other big companies here in Nigeria to assist people with like illnesses, people who have very severe illnesses like cancer, even people who are struggling financially. We're going to try to give them the assistance that they need. So here I want to do it on a bigger scale, and yeah, I want to partner with government. Like, that's my focus, to partner with government, because there are a lot of people that are in need here, and I feel like it's a calling of mine to give. Like, that's always been my passion, to serve. So even though I said I wanted to go into acting, I did news for such a long time, I feel like all of that was just a platform.
Well, I think it's a great strategy, because the acting will expose you to a lot of people. Be like, I know that lady. And then when you take that into philanthropy, they're like, oh, that's that lady from that movie.
It gives you credibility.
Credibility is the word. So I think that's a great strategy.
Yes.
What about the challenges you might face? Have you faced any at all?
Here or in general?
In general, and maybe even here. Or what lessons have you learned from the challenges that you experienced elsewhere, maybe in Tanzania, and how do you intend to succumb or overcome them here?
Okay, so when I first started the show, I feel like I was trying to take on too much too soon, because I was very young when I started my program. I was about 19, 20. Yeah.
I am not going to ask how old you are now. I am not going to ask, even if you told.
I'm 16 by heart. I'm 16 at heart.
So back to the challenges you were doing too fast.
So I feel like I had so much going on, because I was doing radio, I was doing TV, I was also working at a newspaper, and I was traveling to the Dominican Republic every weekend to film. So I just felt like it was a lot for me at such a tender age, because, you know, like, I'm still figuring things out, I'm still learning, and it was my first time producing my own show. So here I want to do it slightly different. Before, I was more focused on raising the funds myself, so a lot of times I would come out of pocket to try to, like, assist people. But here, the show is going to be slightly different. It's not going to be exactly the same. We're going to showcase these people's needs, and we're going to give people the opportunity to come in and help them.
Have you what's the word, experienced some of the lives of these people that you might want to help? Have you been to the ghetto here in Nigeria? Have you, because...
Why do you say it with such sophistication?
Well, I don't know.
The ghetto.
I'm just sophisticated like that. But have you tried to experience their lives?
So that's what we're going to start doing this weekend. We're going to be on the mainland, and we're going to be going to some of the neighborhoods here.
Nice.
And yeah, I want to visit some of the orphanages as well.
Nice.
There's so many things, the schools, because there's so much that I want to do. I almost feel like a political candidate, like the type of things that I want to do.
I get you, I see.
It's just like so much. For me, as I said, I've always been someone who wanted to serve. So despite my experience with news, like, I know what my passion is. It's to serve and to basically give back to people. So I want to, even if I'm not the one financing everything, I want to be that.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, you are a fantastic personality. Your spirit is just so beautiful. We love this in Nigeria. You are welcome. Please go ahead and do whatever you want to do.
Thank you.
We hope that you enjoyed this. Do stay tuned. We've got more coming your way inside of Wake Up Nigeria.